Hey there, my yogi friend. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica, if you don't know me yet. And this is going to be a quick yin practice to relieve tension in the neck, shoulders, and upper back. So if you've been feeling some pain here, maybe you've been hunched over your phone like this, or hunched over your computer, and you're just feeling a little bit tight back here, I guarantee you this class is going to make you feel a lot better. So whenever you're ready, hop on your mat. You're going to want 2 blocks for this practice, but other than that, you shouldn't need any other props. So when you're ready, come into a seat, bring your hands to your knees, roll your shoulders up and back, sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in to begin, and exhale it out. Slowly take your right ear towards your right shoulder, keeping your chin slightly lifted. You might walk your left hand out to your side, coming onto your fingertips, and then option to take your right hand to your left ear, drawing your right ear down closer towards your shoulder. Draw your right shoulder down your back. Soften into this shape as much as you can. If you're newer to yin yoga, the idea is to hold the pose with as little muscular effort as you can, just letting gravity do the work. Let your breath be smooth and natural in and out of your nose. Another important aspect of yin yoga is to observe your experience, to allow yourself to be the witness to your feelings, to sensations in your body. And for that reason, we tend to practice yin with quite a bit of silence so that you can pay close attention to what's happening inside. So I may share a few tips to guide you into each of these poses, but after that, I'm going to allow you to find that inner experience. Very slowly turn your chin towards your right armpit. You can keep your hand on your head or release your hand down to the floor. Very gently turn your chin towards the center of your chest. Take a breath or two here. And slowly lift your head back up into an upright position. Lower your left ear down towards your shoulder. Keep your chin slightly lifted, and if your right hand isn't already there, walk it out to your side, coming onto your fingertips. You might take your left hand to your right ear, drawing your left ear down closer towards your shoulder. Draw your left shoulder down away from your ear. Once you've found your shape, see if you can hold still. breathing in and out of your nose. Very gently turn your chin towards your left armpit, either keeping your hand on your head or releasing your fingers down to the floor. Relax your shoulders, relax your face and jaw. Breathe in and out of your nose. Very gently turn your chin towards the center of your chest. Stay here for a breath or two. And very slowly bring your head back up into a neutral position. We're going to make our way down onto our bellies for bow tie pose. Come onto your forearms first, and then take your right arm, thread it underneath your left. You may have to lift your elbow off the mat. Walk that hand out as far away from you as you can. Then take your left hand, walk it out as far away from you to the right as you can. So you'll have a sort of crisscross shape here. You'll release down onto the mat. And if that feels really intense here, you may roll up a blanket and place that underneath your chest. Let your head relax. Come back to your breath. Relax your shoulders. Very slowly begin to lift yourself back up. Come back onto your forearms for a moment. Lift your right elbow and then cross your left arm underneath. Walk that hand out as far to the right as you can, and then walk your right hand as far to the left. So finding that crisscross shape with your arms. And once again, if you need to, you can always roll up a blanket underneath your chest here. And release everything down to the mat. Very slowly begin to lift yourself back up, coming back onto your forearms, and then press back into a brief child's pose, taking your hips over your heels, lowering your forehead to the mat. Arms can extend out in front of you. Take a breath or two here. And whenever you're ready, walk your hands towards your knees, lift yourself back up. We're going to come into melting heart pose with a little variation. You're going to want to use your blocks for this. Come into a tabletop position and then bring your blocks down about shoulder width apart at any height. You might start off at the lowest height and then play around and see which works better for you. Personally, I like to go for the middle height, but go ahead and find what feels right for you. Keep your hips stacked above your knees and then take your elbows down on top of your blocks. Lower your chest down towards the mat. Bring your palms together above your head. Let your heart melt forward. Notice where you can soften and let gravity do the work for you. See if you can stay present to your experience. It can be very tempting to fidget and do anything possible to not be here. See if you can stay present to your experience, whatever that may be. Very slowly begin to lift yourself up, removing your blocks off to the side. Press back into that child's pose. This time, maybe take your arms by your side, palms pointing up to relax your shoulders. Gently bring your hands in front of you, press down to lift yourself up. And we're going to come onto our backs for a supported bridge pose. So extend your legs out in front of you. Scoot your hips towards the center of your mat. Come onto the soles of your feet with your knees bent. And then lower all the way down to your back, bringing a block with you. Press into your heels to lift your hips up and then place that block underneath your hips. You can play around with the height here. Once again, I usually like the middle height, but you might find that the lowest height is more appropriate for you right now, or maybe the higher height. Either stay here with your knees bent or extend your legs out in front of you. We're going to actually focus a little bit more on the neck in this pose rather than the legs, even though it's a nice little hip flexor opener as well. So bring your hands to the base of your skull and then pull your head, lifting your head up off the mat to lengthen your neck. And release your head back down, chin towards your chest. Arms can come out to a T or by your side, wherever feels comfortable. Allow yourself to relax into this shape. Soften where you can. Come back to your breath in and out of your nose. And take a few more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, lift your hips up off the block. Remove your block off to your side. Lower your hips back down. And maybe walk your feet out as wide as your mat. Knock your knees in towards each other. Take a breath or two here. We're going to come into a snail pose. So I'm going to scooch up a little bit here so you can see this fully. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Lift your hips up off the mat. Take your legs up overhead. Bring your hands to your lower back and then bend your knees, bringing them close towards your ears. This pose can be fairly intense for a lot of us, so you might actually just keep your legs extended here for a shoulder stand if that would feel better. You can also leave your hips on the block and just extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Soften your breath. Notice if there's an urge to get out of the pose and see if you can find stillness. See if you can be present to whatever discomfort you're feeling, so long as it's not a painful discomfort. Very slowly begin to release your hips down towards the mat. Draw your knees into your chest when you get there. And we'll set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Really the most important pose in any yoga practice. A moment where our body and our mind integrate everything, our entire experience on the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Arms can come by your side, palms pointing up. One more time, melt into the mat. Let your body soften. And gently surrender to the rest. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. Otherwise, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Begin to deepen your breath. And slowly roll over onto your side, curling up into a fetal position. And when you're ready, make your way up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, and we'll close this practice with a big breath together. Inhale. Exhale it out. Bring your hands to your third eye center, bringing gratitude to this practice and for taking this time to honor your body. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed this practice and that it's helped to relieve some of the tension you might have been feeling in your neck, shoulders, or upper back. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. It really means a lot to me to be able to keep putting out these classes for you and to keep sharing this practice together. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so I can continue putting out these classes. You can also leave any comments below or any questions that you have for me, and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you again so much, and have a beautiful day.